define a superstar?
A person who can go on the road and sell the building.
There we go. That should be. It's a simple definition.
Simple. I'm going to see that person, right?
So you ain't talking skill on the court. That's it. You talk about
draw.
box office.
Stephen A.
You got to be box
Magic's
office.
in town. You're going to the game.
Yeah, a superstar got to say, man, or you running home from the office and saying, oh, I got to see him on TV.
Before Magic Johnson became a name that fits the definition of superstar, he was once called Tragic Magic. Today, Tyrese Haliburton, viewed as the modern version of Magic, has been called overrated. And even after leading Indiana to the NBA Finals with several clutch shots and record stats, Magic is totally right about Tyrese. He isn't a superstar. Yet. According to the Lakers legend, being a superstar isn't really about your skills. It's really about your pull. So, what does Magic think of Hallie's game, and what advice did he offer him? Magic Johnson's definition of a superstar isn't about skill. It's about presence.
Larry Bird, people running home, right? Charles Barkley, people running home. Shaq, people running home. Kobe, people running home. And then, of course, the greatest that's ever played, Michael Jordan, people going running home to see him.
Now, that's a high bar, and there are critics who don't think Haliburton can reach that level. One of those critics is Stephen A. Smith, who's always talking about Haliburton's inconsistency.
We're talking about a Tyrese Haliburton. You're averaging 20.8 points a game on 48% shooting in wins. You're averaging 12.6 points on 43% shooting in losses.
According to Stephen A., this is why Tyrese isn't a superstar in his book. Not when SGA has been cooking all series, including winning a free throw from a jump ball. But Magic Johnson is not one of the critics, and that's because he knows what it's like to be doubted. He's been where Tyrese is now, struggling with expectations, dealing with the weight of being the guy, and still finding ways to lead. That's one of the things he believes Tyrese needs to do more, to assert his dominance and lead the team. Right now, Haliburton isn't selling out road games. He's not dominating headlines like Luka, Ant-Man, or Shea. But he is showing flashes. Getting the fans to clown Stephen A like this gotta count for something, right? And as we've seen before, when Magic-level players get counted out, that's when they cook. Many people don't remember when Magic Johnson was called Tragic Magic.
You've gotten booed twice in LA.
That's right.
They gave you a nickname.
Right. Tragic Magic.
That nickname didn't come from haters online, it came from the media. In 1980, Magic was a Finals MVP as a rookie. He was already a champion, already a star. But the moment he stumbled in the playoffs the next year, turnovers, missed shots, a first-round exit, critics flipped on him fast, calling him overrated. Fans said he was too flashy, not tough enough. Even his smile became a part of the critique. It took Magic another full season and another championship run to shut everyone up. Now, more than 4 decades later, Tyrese Haliburton is walking that same path. Just like Magic, Haliburton is a pass-first guard with elite vision. Just like Magic, he's charismatic, unselfish, and constantly trying to make his teammates better. And, just like Magic in 1981, he's now in the middle of a playoff run where every move is under the microscope. So, eventually, he clapped back at the media.
Most of the time, the talking heads on the major platforms, I couldn't care less, honestly. Like, what do they really know about basketball?
Stephen A. considers himself the talking head, so he returned the favor.
That's a very ignorant statement on his part. You know what I'm saying?
This is the same guy that was considered overrated and people questioned whether he could lead a contender. Now, he's in the finals, but the critics have not stopped. Game 1, he hits the game winner. Game 3, nearly posts a triple-double, but none of that matters, because just like Magic in 81, Haliburton isn't just fighting his opponent, he's fighting a narrative. Now, here's what's important. Like Magic, he's showing resilience. You see, Magic didn't become a superstar because of one finals performance. He became a superstar because he bounced back, and because he responded to adversity with championships. That's what Haliburton is facing now. In Game 5, he suffered an injury just as the Pacers went down 3-2 in the series. Now, we're wondering, is he really that guy? Could this be the moment Haliburton becomes a superstar? After all, even Magic's definition of a superstar is more than just being box office.
Superstar player They got to lead you to the championship. They got to lead you to the championship, and it's gotta mean so much to them. It's gotta be painful. It's gotta hurt, you know. And so, superstar is a guy who makes his teammates better.
Haliburton already makes his teammates better, and bringing the NBA title to Indiana for the first time will definitely mean so much. But will that change the narrative around him? I mean, before Hallie becomes a hot topic, NBA experts had no problem calling Jalen Brunson a superstar, and everyone was cool with it. Superstar only became a hard-to-define word when it came to Tyrese, and that's because there are players who probably dislike him more than the media.
So the subject has been about whether or not he's a superstar and all of this other stuff, which I don't believe he is. He's the guy I wanted the Knicks to draft years ago. He's a damn good player.
Right.
It was the media that came out and said, you're not overrated. It was your peers who voted you overrated, not the media. You see how slick these dudes get? They try to point into the media. No, it's your colleagues. It's your contemporaries.
So far, those players who called him overrated have remained anonymous while he's still leading the Pacers. In Game 4 of the Eastern Conference Finals, the Haliban dropped 32 points, 15 assists, and 12 rebounds with no turnovers. In Game 1 of the 2025 NBA Finals, Haliburton dropped a game winner with 0.3 seconds left on the clock. Not a layup, not a pullback, but a cold-blooded shot in the clutch on the road against the best team in the West. Those weren't just good games, they were moments. Another moment happened in Game 3 with the series tied 1-1. Haliburton puts on a triple-double show. 22 points, 9 rebounds, 11 assists, 2 steals, 52.9% shooting from the field, and 50% from 3. This is what Magic and others see when they say Haliburton has superstar flashes. But in the NBA, it isn't always smooth sailing. In Game 5 of the Finals, he didn't hit a single field goal and went 0 for 6 from the floor. He finished with just 4 points, 7 rebounds, and 6 assists after playing 34 minutes fighting through injury. Of course, the talking heads used his poor Game 5 stats to make points, but we all know that if he simply left after the injury, the narrative would be different. It would have been about him being weak. The question would have become, why didn't he play through the pain like superstars do? Because superstars are expected to show up when their team needs them. Interestingly, that's how Stephen A. defines a superstar.
When I talk about superstar status, we're talking about guys at the box office and all this stuff. That's true too. But my definition of it is a number one option who is game planned against by the opposition every single night.
That's right.
And far more often than not, answers the call.
On this occasion, Haliburton did not answer the call, although he stayed on the court. In fact, many fans and experts think Coach Rick Carlisle made a fatal mistake by subbing TJ McConnell for an injured Tyrese. But every superstar has his off day. There isn't a simple player in any sport that performs 100% every time. However, there are things that Hallie needs to work on to become a superstar, and one of them is consistency. So, what is Magic Johnson's advice to get to that level? First off, Tyrese Haliburton isn't just putting up numbers, he's building a brand, and that matters more than ever. As Magic Johnson rightly said, being a superstar isn't just about buckets. It's about presence, media impact, cultural relevance, the kind of off-court energy that makes fans care even when you're not playing. As it is, Haliburton seems to have the charisma, although it's hard to tell if the way he switches tone of voice when talking helps or not. But Indiana fans definitely like him. Also, there's his bond with Caitlin Clark, the WNBA's megastar, who might one day decide the salaries of WNBA players. These two support each other's games and go to each other's events. This makes Haliburton more relatable, more visible, and more marketable. Speaking of marketability, Shaq once said that Haliburton has the potential to become the face of the league. Also, many see him as that rare pass-first point guard. Legends like Kevin Garnett and Jay Williams have both said that Haliburton shows Magic-like flashes. The vision, the timing, the ability to run a team without needing to dominate the scoreboard. However, Magic advises that he needs to score more points if he wants to change the narrative.
You can't just have 15 assists and 12 points or 15 points. That's not enough. You got to score in this series. See, you got to remember that this is the highest scoring team. OKC is the highest scoring team in the league. So you have to personally, Haliburton, come out and say, I got to get my assists, but also I got to score. I got to score. I had to do that against the Celtics.
Still, some might argue that Magic didn't become Magic because of his scoring, that he became who he was by making everyone better and turning moments into momentum. However, like Magic said, he had to score more to get to that level. 15 points with lots of assists from slick plays and passes wasn't enough. You need the buckets too. Now, if that's the definition we're going with, then the Haliban might be closer to being a superstar than anyone's ready to admit. Magic Johnson's definition of a superstar is simple. Sell out arenas, lead your team to titles, and mean so much to the game that fans rush home to see you. Yes, Haliburton's not there yet, but he's close. He's had the moments, the stats, the leadership, and the adversity. And now, he has the chance to respond. What will his response be? Only time will tell. Now to you, the viewer, do you think Tyrese Haliburton is ready to step into Magic's shoes? Drop your thoughts in the comments. And if you like this video, then watch Reggie Miller Was Totally Right About Tyrese Haliburton next.